Hello everybody and welcome to my AEW review. The final AEW of the year. They will not be on TV next week. Obviously because Christmas Day and just Christmas in general. Excuse me. In general, but they will not be back till the 1st of January when they come back on New Year's Day. So this is the final AEW of the year, and this show also is going to be commercial free, especially through the first match. No entrances needed for this one. Corpus Christi, Texas, and we kicked it off with the Lucha Brothers versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Of course, you could expect a lot of craziness from this tag team match in general, which was really good for the first 20 minutes of this entire show. I do believe they kind of start, in my opinion, and this may be a little bit of an unpopular opinion on what I'm about to say right here. There was a lot of play to the crowd, I will say, with that, especially with the Sierra Medio and the Sierra Medio, and of course Omega doing his the bang thing, or cowboy shit, because a lot of cowboy shit Sierra Medio chants, and this was pretty good, kicking in and whatnot, especially with the stare down with Hangman and Pentagon. But like I said, a lot of playing to the crowd and whatnot, but there was a lot of good stuff going on. Had to take that sneeze right there. But like I said, there's a lot of good stuff going on in this entire match. I'm sure people are going to be looking at more of the story of this, but I did like when, Omega does his dive to the outside. It pretty much goes all the way up to the ramp, kind of, taking a lap around the ring then. Pretty much coming back in, getting super kicked by both Phoenix and Pentagon right there and whatnot. Phoenix pretty much came back with a double stomp on Hangman then inside of the ring. Like I said, it was a lot really to cover from this match. Of course, Pentagon and Hangman Page going with chops and kicks from that point. Page coming back with a lariat from out of nowhere, pretty much attacking to Omega then. Omega pretty much a frog splash. While Pentagon was standing then. Phoenix pretty much broke up the pin after that. Hangman pretty much got on the way. Hangman pretty much then Hangman away, but Omega pretty much got him with a moonsault then. Pretty much landed on Pentagon's knees then. That did not work. Phoenix pretty much took Hangman Page out to the outside then. One thing that was kind of crazy was when Pentagon gets stuck in between Hangman and Omega. Omega and Hangman pretty much start chopping the crap out of him then. Right after that, Omega came back with a Garada, pretty much powerbombing Pentagon in right after that. Referee was down. Well, not referee was distracted at one point, but like I said, I'm just going more of like just kind of skimming through this tag match, kind of getting to the important parts of it. But when it kind of got towards the end though, Pentagon that pretty much got Omega on the apron. Pretty much they started taking out Hangman Page, so Omega was kind of on his own from a little bit at this point. Pretty powerbomb Sling Blade on Pentagon and Phoenix. Hangman was able to come back. Hangman was able to come back in the apron. Omega was in the ring with Pentagon in. Pretty much Pentagon tried to go for his package pile driver. Omega came and pretty much dodged it. Was kind of going for his Snapdragon. Did not work. Hit him with a V-trigger then. Had grabbed him again. Pretty much get him into position so Hangman could hit the buckshot lariat on, Pentagon. But it ended up hitting Omega, knocking him down then. Pentagon and Phoenix pretty much, they took out Hangman Page with a super kick. And hit the, the double stomp package power driver on Kenny Omega for the win. Pretty much right after Hangman and Omega started arguing then. Now, to what I've been hearing, there's been the tease of this breakup of the Elite and Hangman Page turning heel. I do not know what's going on being the Elite, and I have to catch up on a few episodes, so I don't know what's really going on there, with them teasing the heel turn. But you could obviously see the heel turn being teased on TV also. But as they start to argue then, they show Pac on screen backstage, and, Pac asks Omega, remember me? I asked you about the challenge, and you never answered my challenge. And since you're not answering my challenge or anything, he says, I'm going to do something to someone you know. one of his friends, and I'm thinking like, okay, is it the Bucks? Is it Cody? And he walks into the room where Michael Nakazawa is, and I don't think me or a lot of people gave a shit. I didn't give a shit. It's Michael Nakazawa. I'm like, oh, you might kill him. Okay, you want to take him out? Cool. He's no one to mess with. They kept saying he was Kenny Omega's best friend and whatnot out there. So Omega ran to the back to go to Michael Nakazawa. Now, this is something I don't like, and this isn't the first time you see this throughout the entire show, okay? This is when, okay, the whole picture-in-picture thing. Once again, AEW, in my opinion, continues to do the picture-in-picture thing at the wrong time when some important stuff going on, like a promo. And we'll get into that later, too. But when they do the picture-in-picture thing, they pretty much go there when, Omega was going to look for Michael Nakazawa, because when he looked for him, Nakazawa was never in the room, and then the Lucha Brothers ended up beating up Omega backstage, and then Hangman Paige, he fought him off, and then, Omega got back up, and he started looking for Nakazawa again, and then, they showed Darby Allin headed to the stage, then I guess he was ready for his matchup next, because, JR and, Shivani Excalibur telling what was going to be happening next then, so it was going to be Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin versus the Butcher, the Baker, and the Candlestick Maker. The Butcher and the Blade, though, with the bunny and whatnot. This was a good tag match. A little bit botchy, a couple points on the end, but the crowd was into this between Cody and Allin going against the Butcher and the Blade. Now, I do have a couple problems with this, like the botches, especially Darby Allin doing his suicide dive from the bottom rope looked very bad, by the way. And they showed a replay of it, too. It did not look good. But Cody ended up hitting the springboard cutter for the win after Allin hit a coffin drop on the Butcher. Now, there is a problem with this. Yes, Cody Rhodes and them got the win over this, but in a way, okay, you just brought this new team into the company, like, 2 weeks ago, right? They beat up Cody, and then, they beat Cody last week with that QT Marshall guy. Why is it the next week now the Butcher and the Blade are losing a match now? Because you're going to bring this new team in. Should you be building it up, rack some wins on them, make them established and everything? Because nobody doesn't know who these people are, okay? They really don't. They don't know who the Butcher is. They don't know who the Blade is. They probably know who the Money is because it's Allie, but if they are a new tag team and everything, they need to, they need to pick up some wins, become established. I'm not saying put the belts on them or anything right now, but make them into a credible threat. Okay, they beat up Cody. They made a name for themselves. And yes, and they got the win over him last week. Okay, I was okay with that. But now it's like this week, now you got Cody getting his win back. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be a one-and-one thing where we're going to have a rubber match with Cody and whoever his partner is, but I don't know if the Butcher and the Blade should be losing matches right now at this point, especially if we've only seen these people on TV for like 2 weeks. I don't even know the whole story. They say MJF hired them or something like that. I don't know. I must have missed being the Elite again or something and not know that whole story, or I'm missing something from what they said on the internet or whatnot. But it wasn't a bad tag team match or anything, but in a way, I'm just kind of thinking, should they really be losing matches right now? I honestly asked that question. Should, the Butcher and the Blade be losing matches right now if we only seen these guys for 2 weeks on TV? I'm just putting it out there, okay? But next, Awesome Kong came out with Brandi Rhodes and Melanie Cruz. They showed some video with Brandi talking about they're going to get the alien Chris Statlander to join the Nightmare Collective, and some weird bald guy came in that we never saw his face, and Brandi told him to calm down. I still don't know what this gimmick is about. Awesome Kong killed this Miranda Alice girl, hit her with the back fist, and then the implant buster for the win. Awesome Kong got the squash, but then they got in the ring and started cutting the girl's hair. Then, listen, I have no idea what this is. Here's another thing too. This isn't the first time you're gonna see Brandi Rhodes. This is not the last time. Okay, so you're gonna see her later on tonight too. And this shit's still not understandable to me. I don't mind Kong in matches, but whatever the hell Brandi is talking about, I do not get it. It's too many people doing dark gimmicks on right now in AEW. Like I've said before, the Brandi shit makes no sense to me. I swear to God, I swear to you, it makes zero sense to me. So I'm trying to understand it, but it just, I'm sorry. I'm not catching on with this Brandi thing. I don't know. I don't know why they have the Melanie Cruz girl there. She was like the initiator, and then they cut this other girl's hair like they keep it as a trophy. And you got this weird bald guy. I have no idea, but we'll get to that in a second. We then went to a sit-down interview with Jungle Boy and Jim Ross, as they had a video package first with, you know, Jungle Boy working out. They went to JR asking him, you know, if he was scared of facing, you know, Chris Jericho. Jungle Boy says he's not afraid of Chris Jericho, the man. He respects Chris Jericho, the legend, but he understands the gravity and pressure of this situation. But pressure makes greatness. He says. JR asked him like, what would, you know, his dad think? You know, what would he think if, you know, Luke Perry and everything, if he was facing, you know, the world champion? Jungle Boy always talked about him, and his dad always talked about, you know, always getting to here, and now he's finally made it. And he says dad would be proud of him to where he is right now. And, you know, he'd be with him in spirit when taking this challenge. A good sit-down interview with, you know, Jungle Boy, though. And, Jungle Boy and Jim Ross, though. Especially kind of establishing Jungle Boy as a, an underdog. I will say that. Very sympathetic underdog. Some of the fans can get behind. So, at least I'll say it was character development in a way. I may be wrong. It could be. But at least we're trying, you know, to get to know Jungle Boy and everything. Then, you know, with just him, with, you know, Luchasaurus and, you know, Marco Stunt right there. But you get to know who he is, and the fans, you know, starting to know more and more about him. So, I think that was a good way of getting him over by doing this whole interview and whatnot. But next after that, Chris Jericho came out, and of course he made his entrance. But once again, you do this bullshit picture thing. Jericho's cutting a promo in the ring. People want to see that shit. Why are you going to commercial in the picture, and Guevara's coming out, and Hager's with him? It's like when Jericho goes to promo, it's like they go full commercial and then stop the picture. So we never heard what Chris Jericho even said. So I'm sick. I do not like that. I don't like that, alright? I'm sure anybody will say that too. But, you know, that's them, I guess. I don't know. That's just strange. They gotta stop doing that. But as Jericho's in the ring, though, we never saw his promo. Jungle Boy came out. They had his mom, his sister, and his grandmother at ringside. This was a good match, and, you know, it was a 10-minute time limit. Wasn't for the title, I believe, but it was just to see if Jungle Boy could survive Chris Jericho. And Jericho let this guy get a lot of offense. I would say that. Excuse me. But I thought it was a good back and forth. I know Hager and Luchasaurus went at it for a second, and Hager knocked the hell out of Marco Stunt. Thank God that motherfucker didn't get no offense. But yeah, Hager knocked him down. Referee called both of them to the back. But you know, I thought this was good between Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy. You know, Jungle Boy tried to go for the Hurricane Rana, and then, you know, pretty much, you know, got into a crucifix on a near fall. Jericho pretty much got his belt, and that got his belt and everything. I'm sorry, but you know, he tried to get him for a roll up and everything, but Jericho, excuse me, he tried, you know, he got for a roll up. Jericho reversed it. He put him in the walls of Jericho and everything. After, you know, he got him into the bottom rope. Jericho held it. Then there was still a minute left on the timer. Jericho, he held on to the walls of Jericho and pulled him back, which are like 30 seconds still left. Let me note that Jungle Boy never tapped out. He never submitted. The bell rang. Jericho thought he won and everything. So he was trying to do his best to get Jungle Boy over, I think, as a sympathetic face, you know, to get, like I said before, to get the crowd behind him and everything, and that he could survive 10 minutes with Chris Jericho. Jericho, yes, he gave him a hell of a beating out there in a way, but Jungle Boy survived, and you know, like I said, Jericho, excuse me. But yes, like I said, Jericho, he went to Justin Roberts. He slapped him in the face. He demanded 5 more minutes in this match and everything, which, you know, they said 5 more minutes. And when it was still, as time kind of went on then, after, you know, he had 5 more minutes, you know, Jungle Boy still rolled him up. He got him for another near fall, but Jericho got out. He took his belt and he left out the ramp. And then Jericho just started, once again, I hate when they do the commercial thing, so I know he said something on the microphone or whatnot, and start, you know, talking. I don't know, he was talking to Jungle Boy's family, probably just talking trash to them, throwing stuff around, yelling at Justin Roberts, yelling at the fans, yelling at everybody, until they finally came back from commercial, and Jericho, you know, Jericho pretty much, you know, said that he denied Jungle Boy lasted 10 minutes with him. And, you know, he didn't beat him and everything. Jericho said that, I'll deal with him later, but, you know, the real story is John Moxley, if he's going to join the Inner Circle. And he said he already knows what his answer is, but he wanted to let Moxley know, man, like, hey, man, the Inner Circle, man, we'll let you in. We let you in the Inner Circle mansion and everything. So, you know, you don't know what the crowd doesn't know what this mansion is. Casa Grande, it's a lot of money. It's a big house. They wouldn't understand. But you got 2 weeks now. Obviously, we're not going to be on TV next week due to Christmas. But, hey, talk it over with your wife. Talk it over with your mom. And come back to me, okay? New Year's edition of AEW. We want an answer. Next, Jen Decker was interviewing SCU as they're getting ready for the title match tonight until the Lucha Brothers came in, playing the gif of Christopher Daniels botching that moonsault landing on his head, pretty much showing it to him. You know, Kazarian told Daniels, like, show what you got, but Daniels pretty much looked pissed off then, as the SCU pretty much went after him, as the Lucha Brothers ended up leaving and whatnot. But I guess I try to say that, you know, Daniels is too old and he's losing his step and everything. Chris Statlander went against Britt Baker. Match was okay. I will say that. And whatnot. It was good. Like, this was somewhat of a better Britt Baker match in a way, but still kind of botchy. I'm just glad they went with Chris Statlander winning. She's the #1 contender now for the Women's Championship, because I just don't think Baker's cutting it right now. I honestly don't, and I just don't think Baker's that good also. But they tried, but Baker just ain't it. But Chris Statlander, that's something. They show Rio in the crowd. Where the hell has she been in the past few weeks? She's the champion, but we finally see her on TV since she has a new #1 contender. But did, as Chris Statlander won, they asked, Tony Schiavone asked her, you know, interview and everything, congratulating her, and, you know, what'd you think about, I guess she was getting an interview of what she thought about her title, you know, title shot she's getting. But next, you know, Brandi's coming back out with her weird shit, talking about the microphone, and saying, like, Tony, you need to go. And Tony needs to show off your goddamn microphone, she says, and pretty much talk to Chris Statlander, say, like, I come in peace, and asked you, are you going to join the Nightmare Collective? She waved her finger, no. Next thing you know, Awesome Kong and Melanie Cruz show up. Brandi pretty much hit her with her heel shoe to the face. Sadie Gibbs comes down and pretty much helps Statlander then, which, by the way, why isn't this girl on TV doing it? Has she been on AEW yet? Like, the show itself? Because it's like they said about Kong tonight. She actually made her AEW TV review. Because I've only seen Sadie Gibbs on Dark. Why is she on the main show? I have no idea why. Listen, like I said before, I have no idea where this Brandi shit is going. And by God, she gets a lot of TV time also, okay? So, I just don't know. I know she's the alien and they're coming after her or something, but still, I just don't get where this is going all the way with her trying to join this Nightmare Collective thing and whatnot. But they then went to Tully Blanchard and Sean Spears talking about the tag team vision, how they are hot right now, and that what matters in AEW. But they said they're going to find their own tag team, a partner that's going to help get the big checks, because, you know, Tully said, like, you know, I was tagging back then with Arn Anderson. It was always about chemistry and everything of being a team. So I guess they're going to scout for talent and everything right now. Next, they had a video package of the Young Bucks saying that, you know, they want to show everybody that they're the best in the world, but they haven't proven that lately. So they want to crawl back up to the top. They pretty much had their title shot against SCU. You know, the match was okay. I will say that. I've seen these two teams face each other before. It was a good tag match, of course, the usual things you're going to see from both the Young Bucks and SCU from themselves. You know, it wasn't bad or anything or whatnot. I know it was a lot of build to this match because, you know, they won a title shot last week against Proud and Powerful. and whatnot. So, like I said, the match was okay. SCU ended up getting the win. They got the clean win on the Young Bucks in the SCU later, I believe, after that. And then, you know, both teams, they shook hands and everything. But then I have a lot to say about what happened after. The Creepers from the Dark Order show up. The Join the DarkOrder.com thing comes on. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson come out. And then they congratulate SCU on their win. And at the Young Bucks, you know, you suffered a hard loss. But tonight wasn't a recruitment night. It was initiation. And they ordered all the Creepers to come in and beat them up. Next, you know, the Young Bucks super kicked 2 of the Dark Order guys. But they all come in. And then, you know, they start jumping the Bucks in the SCU. Christopher Daniels tried to come out to make the save. Couldn't outwork. Kenny Omega came out next. He had a V-trigger on one of them on the way down, but he could not make the save then. Cody and Dustin Rhodes came out, but that didn't work either. And, you know, the numbers game was too high. And the next thing you know, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, those 2 job guys from like a week ago, they ended up joining it. And then Evil Uno gets in the ring, so you will never doubt us again. And then, you know, he put his hand in one, I think it was in Matt Jackson's mouth. There was blood coming from it. And, you know, took it out and everything. So, I guess they initiated them. Now, I have a lot to say about this with the Dark Order, okay? I don't know who or what is trying to get the Dark Order, but, you know, it's kind of funny to me, like, so let me get this straight. The top guys that are in this company right now, so the tag team champions, and, you know, top level guys like Cody Rhodes, Omega, the Bucks, you know, SCU, Dustin Rhodes and whatnot are getting beat up by 2 job guys that just joined this group. A team that is not really that over against a bunch of guys in masks that look like the putties from the Power Rangers. Evil Uno is basically the Shredder now, and he looks like he's trying to recruit the Foot Clan and whatnot, because they all get these masks on, and now he's just recruited 2 guys into this Dark Order, but they look like the Foot Clan now from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what it looks like to me, and it just kind of funny, and I think the crowd did not really care that much too. So notice how the crowd reaction changed when they had the Dark Order come out, because I don't think they were really that impressed by them. I don't think anybody's really impressed by the Dark Order. I know they're doing their best to get them over some dark cult society when you got 3 dark gimmicks going on TV right now, like I've said before. But is this even working with the Dark Order, though? I honestly ask that, because something, I still think it's not clicking, and I don't know if this did either, especially if you're making this. Hey, you know what was funny? Aren't the Elite, weren't they at a feud with the Inner Circle right now? Is that done now? Because aren't they still battling them? Now they got battle the Dark Order, and they basically got beat up by 2 job guys, mass random guys, and by the way, at least Stu Grayson really did something, so at least he looks legit out there. I think he's good, but Evil Uno is like this wannabe Shredder now, and they just recruited the fucking Foot Clan. That's what it looked like. They were the Foot Clan, everybody's like a damn putty from the excuse me, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's what they all look like. And, you know, Evil Uno, he tries to say this super villain. You will all respect the Dark Order. The Dark Order runs everything. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. He sounds like a fucking super villain out there, what he's trying to put on, okay? And it looks generic as fuck. That's what it did. I don't know, man. I'm trying to get this Dark Order thing a chance. And the videos weren't bad, but I'm still not seeing where this is going. But obviously, we just shot these guys right up to the fucking top now, and they just beat up, like, what, the top level talent in the company, which, you know, have these guys the fucking owners anyway that's running this show. But still, they beat up the champions, and they just fucking kill Omega and everybody out there. And the crowd just, they look half-assed by this. They really look half-assed by what was going on here. I'm trying to give it a chance. Maybe I'm being too hard on it. I don't know. But something about that just was not impressive, okay? I'm sorry, okay? They just got beat up by job. The top-level talent in the company basically got beat up by job guys. That's basically what happened. They got beat up by fucking job guys out there. What do you want me to say? Other than that, though, that's my AEW review. Listen, I liked the tag match at the beginning. I liked, try to see what else I really did like out of this show. I thought Southern Baker was okay. I still don't understand this Brandi Rhodes shit, and I see they try to push this hard. Cody Allen was good, but, you know, I kind of questioned him being the Butcher and the Blade or whatnot, and, you know, isn't Cody already in a feud with them and MJF? What else? Jericho Jungle Boy was good too. That was good. You know, that was a good thing for the 10 minutes or whatnot. So they were trying to get Jungle Boy over. I enjoyed that. It was good at Jericho's antics. I just don't like how they do the whole picture-in-picture commercial. They do it at the wrong times. That just really throws me off. Main event was okay, but I don't know, man. That Dark Order shit. I'm trying to be good on this, but I just don't think this team is over. I just do not think this team is over, okay? But let's see what happens. There's obviously not going to be a show next week, so you will not be getting an AEW review next week. It will be Christmas at that time. So we will see you in 2 weeks for AEW review. But other than that, I am done with this review of AEW Dynamite tonight. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Etc. You know how this goes. Check out any other past review, video, or anything that's online right now. Blah blah blah. Fuck Lifetime, etc. Like I said, we will be back in the next 2 weeks for an AEW review. I wanted to say to everybody out there, happy holidays, and soon enough, we will be here for a year-end review. I'm figuring to try to do a podcast with my friend. We could not do the Survivor Series review a few months ago, so we will try to do a year-end review on all of wrestling that has happened throughout this year. We will come back with. But other than that, I am done with this. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.